Right, how's it going? Back at the fridge again to knock out a couple more bits on this Triumph Longford chopper here. Last video I did a couple of days ago, I made these spacer bosses to take the handlebar bolts, hide them on the one on top, one on the bottom there. Bolt countersunk in there, so when it's on the yoke, that's all you see. Now I want to make the slugs that are going to go on the inside of the handlebars. So quick measure up there, and even after I've done a little counter bore on the bottom of this for the handlebar to seat into, we've got 45mm measured out on there, so there's plenty spare for a nut to go on the top. I've got a pack of nuts now which I didn't have the other day, so I'll probably go 50mm on that, because I am sinking that in a little ways. Get that closer down to the yoke and have a little foot on the bottom there to give the handlebar some sort of stability. Got this lump of EN1 mild steel stock, picked up down the docks this morning. I'm going to chop off, like say 110mm of this, machine both ends of it, and then chop it in half, so I've got two slugs out of it. I'll get that cut now and set up a lathe, and we'll see how we go with this. Back in a second. This is an offcut from the frame, same size tube. We're still a bit tight. I'll give that another little polish. Probably one more pass. Okay. That's good. Hardly any movement in that roll. Okay. Alright, so I'll take this thing now, flip it around in the chuck, do exactly the same again. This chuck has got a bit of run out on it, but for what I use it for, it doesn't matter. It's okay, by the time I finish with this, that's going to be grand. to the end. Okay, so that's both ends of that machine now. I've marked the middle where I'm going to cut it, so I'll reposition over there and chop that in half, and then I'll face up both of these cut faces and make the ends too. Then I'll weld a couple of nuts on the ends. Bear with me. Okay, so that's the partner of that fella in the chuck, where I've just chopped that half with the grinder. I'm just going to flatten the face off on both of these just now. Okay, so I decided to welly the 12.1mm hole through there while it was in the chuck. So now I'll take this fella and just repeat that job again, and then get on to sticking a couple of nuts on here. So finished with the lathe work there. Back onto my little fridge here. I've built it all up. As you can see, those collars are made for the top, fit in that recess nice. The ones I've just made, I've got the bolts to them now, and that's all screwed together as it'll be when they're inside the bars. I've got these couple of stainless nuts on here. I'm just going to give these a little boiling, like, and I'm just going to tack them on, because I don't like doing full welds when I've got a bolt in there. Stainless behaves funny when you welding anywhere near it, so I'm just going to put a couple of tacks on and then take them apart and zip them all the way up, and then dress it up so it still fits inside the tube there. I'll just make sure I've got two gloves that fit each hand, and we haven't got a couple of lefties or something, but yeah, we're alright this time. You never know here, because we lose stuff all the time. I'll wrap this LT shirt around this a little bit to protect that yoke. It's already got a load of marks on it because it was used when it came to me, but it's just in case it spits a little bit when I weld it. That's as much as I ever want to weld when I've got a stainless bolt anywhere near a stainless nut, because sometimes these can just get stuck in there. Okay, that's good now, so I'll just get these bolts quick before it all becomes one part. I'll grab a tiny bit then. Let's get this lot out of the way from the safe. Grab me a little stainless rod there. Let that go down, and then I'll put the forks yokes back together, sand it on the bike, and set up the old tube crusher and see if we can turn some of this into something a little less boring than straight line. Alright, so we've switched tubes on, switched tools on the fridge. I've moved the old vise over the back there, and I've got the old tube crusher out. I'm using this because I haven't got a former for me big ass staffer down there, and I haven't finished making me JD squared yet. But for this 28mm tube, this is seamless. This works alright. I'm not going to go with the radius that is on the former for two reasons. One, I want it to be a slightly slower curve than that radius is going to give us, so I'm going to do it in 3 bends. And two, because these things are renowned for crushing pipe, it just eases eases the bend into them a bit better when you're doing these things cold and you haven't packed them with sand and stuff. Do them in 3 sections, and it'll just just behaves a little bit better. You get a nicer inside edge and nicer roll on the tube, more like it's come out of a mandrel bender rather than a crusher. I marked up both the tubes together. This is marked exactly the same as that one. So these 3 points in inch bars each are going to be the points which I'm going to go back to and bend on each time. It takes a few goes to do it, so bear with me. This requires a little bit of patience, and I might even destroy one of these, but it doesn't matter because it's only metal. If it goes in the scrap, we'll go and get some more metal. You know, it's okay. Omelets and eggs and all that, you know. So this is, I've put the first one in there, and I've done a little mock up there in welding rod. No science involved in this, based on a photo of the lad that's going to be riding the bike that I took a couple of months ago when he was round here, and just me getting this bit of welding rod and sitting there, a couple of lumps of wood as a seat, and just holding that guy on the bosses that I've made, and that seems to be a really natural riding position. Key one with this is the lad had a heart attack a few years ago, so we want his hands lower than his heart. That's what I'm going for on this. That's why one reason why I've decided to go with the tie style bars. So with that in mind, that's our radius we're going for, the first radius. And the other tool we need on this is a straight edge. So that's out 50mm at the minute. What I do is each time I do a push, I'll measure how far the ram goes out. Then I can mirror it exactly on the next tube when that one goes in. I might go and get myself a pen and paper or just write it on here as I go as to how far out each push is. So what we want is that to mirror that. So hold that around that way because it might be easy to get hold of. So I'm just on the first mark as it's going in. I'll just gonna go progressively with it. That's at 60mm now. And that's 65. So there's my pen gone. Perfect. And then this one's right on. Yeah. Top of the box. 65mm. That's dot one. Knock this out now and put it onto the third mark, not the second, the third. I always do the middle one last. Eyeball it, I've got that straight in the Crush-O-Matic 12.0. Because we've already got a bend in it, we're already way past 65. So that's 70 there. Still looking good. That one will stand 75. 75 there. So a quick comparison. Still nowhere near where we need to be. That's okay. Let's pop that out and have a little look at it. The bend's forming okay, and those two both look even. So I'll give it a little shove in the middle. This might actually be good to go. I might just be able to go for this now. Still nowhere near. Not flattening out, so that's okay. That's really getting there. So we're at 103. So we'll just give it 105 to round it off. I'll whip that out and see what it looks like. So we're at 65, then 75, and then 105. Hopefully this isn't crushed dead. Oh, looks alright. That looks like a decent bend, that. I haven't ground the welds off on there, but the line is looking where I want it to be. That's looking alright there. I'll just dress them up again and make sure that fits in and try it on properly. Okay, as you can see, I've dressed that boss up now, and that's on there. The vertical coming out the top of you, that's way too long still. I want it way shorter than that. So get the height of his hands down, but I like the line that we're following there. I'll go and bend up the next one the same. Put your arm there, fast forward, so you're not watching the same thing twice, and then see how they both look together. Match up the two radiuses so they're identical, and then I'll start shortening them down until I get the height I want before I put the next sort of not 90, maybe 45 in there for the actual hand grips. So I've that. So next bit of tube loaded in there. It's up to pressure point. Just, this is 65. Okay, so what we're looking at there is the two tubes next to each other. Now, when you can see, let's see if I can do this properly. And there's a gap at one end. That means the bends aren't the same. So go all the way to the other end. There's like a 6mm gap at the end there, which means that top tube just needs a bit more of a little kick on it. So I'll put that back in and do a little bit, just give it a little bit more of a push. Won't go more than like, say 106. No more than that. I don't mind it, but I have to keep repeating this. Right now though, putting them together, they're absolutely perfect. There's no rocking at all either end. Both absolutely spot on. So I'll leave that there. If I need to go back to them, I can. Lock these back up on the bike now. Maybe I'll bit of wood seat. As you can see, they're both still way too high. I'd like about 3 or 4 inch clearance here. I think we've got about seven or so there. And the riding position would be too high for what our guy wants, and it looks a bit shit. So we'll put these on a little diet. I think I'll just start by knocking 3 inches off them and take it down from there before I work out where, if we're going to be fouling the petrol tank or anything like that. So we'll just knock 3 inches off the bottom of each and see if that looks any better. Okay, 3 inches was looking a lot better. So that one's been cut, this one's been marked. Just draw a little circle around it and chop this one the same. Okay, so I've just knocked 3 inches off the bottom and straight away it's all sitting a lot better. Yeah, I could ride that, I could sit there all day. The line follows the bike a lot better. I think I need to mark out on at least one of these where the next bend's going to be, and it's obviously the bars are going to be turning like that, so we've got to account for a bit of swing when riding it for them manoeuvres and car parks. Let's see how that goes. Okay, well after a few minutes of consideration there, I've decided I'm going to wrap this one up tonight at this point, because it's late here and I don't want to upset my neighbours. I want to modify the old tube crusher a little bit for the next bend here. What I want to do is I want to cut the ends off. For the simple reason, where I want to put the bend in, after looking at the photo of the chap sat on the bike, the bends are too close together, which in my other bender would be fine. With this one, if I put that in the tube bender there to put the angle on where your hand would go, this bit of frame fouls it. So I want to take that out the equation and try and modify the machine so that I can get the bends tighter, closer together, because otherwise it would mean doing a bend further away than what I wanted, getting the bars too close to the rides than what I prefer, and then cutting them, slugging them. So it's okay. It would be fine because they've got to be braced up anyway. But I'd rather get it in, a couple of compound bends. So I'll go to work tomorrow and come back as soon as I get home, chop the ends off this bending machine, and start a new video there. I'm normally a bit over ambitious on how much I think I'm going to get done in one evening. It takes 10 seconds to think of it in your head, and then 10 hours to produce it in steel. So I'll go away and do that. I still might shorten these a little bit more as well. But I'll do that after I've got the bends in and I'm happy with the way the actual lines of the bars sit on the bike. I'll fine tune that at the end. Hopefully tomorrow, again, might be a bit ambitious. Maybe I'll be able to do the horizontal bits where your actual arms go, because that's 28mm as it is now, so I want to sleeve it down to inch so that we can use stock twist grips and switches and things like that, whatever furniture the chap wants to put on the bike when he's when he's at that point with it, so again, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate all the new subscriptions. I didn't think that many people would actually be interested in my little shed dwelling activities, but cheers, I appreciate it. If anyone wants to subscribe themselves, it helps me out. Hit the little red thing down there, and the little red button there, and and I'll just keep on, as long as you guys keep on watching, I'll keep on making the videos. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Keep it between the ditches, guys.